well done. A very tough night under the lights, but bearing in mind our shortage of players, I think a fair result, and we're quite happy with it, surely.
Yeah, I think whenever you go away from home is you pick up a point, you're relatively happy with it. Coming here against a very good side who I think they would have gone second if they won tonight, so it proves they're a good side. Score loads of goals at home here. They've got a very good record on this 3G, and like you say, with the players that we had unavailable, not only good players but real good characters and leaders in the squad, with the likes of George Dowling, Sam Teal, Warren Maidment, even Mike Baker, who I know he hasn't been around much, but he's a big character in the dressing room. And then when you throw into the mix that we had to start Zach Drew, who hasn't played for 4 weeks, and Sam Hill, who hasn't played for 4 weeks, Harris hasn't played much, playing with one centre half today. When you throw all of that into the mix, yeah, it's an extremely good point.
Absolutely. I thought some commanding performances across the field. I thought young Harry had stepped up to the plate, but Kyle in goal was absolutely immense. He commanded that box.
Yeah, he did, absolutely, and we know that is a massive strength of his. And he come and collected his balls and dominated his box and kept the back line in check all game. And dealt with everything that he had to. It was a faultless performance, but equally the boys in front of them, a lot of them playing out of position and doing different roles, and ran their socks off and battled and scrapped, and then when the game settled down a little bit, we played some good stuff as well at times.
Yeah, but I thought character and determination, professionalism is something that's coming out of this squad this season, and every supporter should be proud of them. I thought some of the younger players, they stood up to some of the older players in Portishead and didn't duck out any of the challenges. So I think that's a really positive thing to look up across the pitch.
Yeah, it's a relatively young and experienced side here today. Like I say, with a lot of the experienced boys sat on the sides watching. So look, this is a long old season, 40 odd games, whatever it might be. We're in October, we're in a good position. We'll take this point away from home, and then we'll move on to the next tough game on Saturday.
Yeah, but on the same surface, which I think it helps because you get used to 3G a little bit because it's a contrast to pitches. I didn't see any injuries picked up tonight. Were there any?
Not aware of any. But
it's just tired legs at this stage, isn't it?
It will be tired legs. They had to run hard today, and obviously on this 3G surface, it does take a little bit extra out your legs. But it's a Tuesday night fixture, so plenty of time to recover. I don't think Malvern played this midweek, so they might be a little bit fresher. But yeah, we'll assess the bodies, see what we've got coming back in, and we'll go again. We'll be ready.
Absolutely, and again, we mustn't, those who weren't at the game, we must realise that we have moments in the game where we're actually in control. I thought that, but I think a draw was a fair result at the end of the game.
Yeah, I think the first 10-15 minutes we know is going to be tough coming here. They were bang up for the game. They're at home. We expect them to come out the traps fast, and they did. We were adjusting to a few things that we did slightly differently today, and the boys had to adjust to that. But once we did, against a very good forward line, I thought we controlled large parts of it without the ball, if I'm honest. And then when we had our spells, we had a 15-20 minute spell in the first half, and probably a 15-minute spell at the start of the second half where we put some really good stuff together.
Yeah.
We have a goal disallowed, which I'm not 100% sure should have been, again, similar to Saturday.
Yeah.
So that's a couple that potentially go against us. So be careful because I haven't watched it back, but it looks like a clean header from our lad. It looks like one of their players has collided with the goalkeeper, and then it gets hooked into the net. So the ref stopped it for head injury. Maybe that's the right call, I'm not sure. But it just feels like those little fine margins are against us.
Yeah, and there was a decision in the first half with a fine margin as well, where it was a hefty challenge, I would say.
Yeah. Well, we saw one last year. Brett Pittman done exactly the same thing for Dorchester against us.
Yes.
Exactly the same thing, and it was sent off, and there were no complaints. I think it probably was here as well today. But look, those things aren't going for us. We're not going to cry about it. We could quite easily be sat here with 6 points from the last 2 games, which would be an excellent return if decisions had gone the other way, but they haven't. We'll take our 2 points and move on.
Long way to go. Malvern on Saturday. Time to get into the warm, I think. Thanks, Dan, for your time. Cheers.